We'd like to take this time to thank our gold sponsors, ViStar Credit Union, Alachua County Cattlemen's Association, Archer Automotive and Tire, Circle H Ag Sales, Mitchell's Catering. Also, make sure you go over there and grab you some tickets for the Texas Trailers trailer that's being raffled off, $20 a piece. And if you don't like that style of trailer, you can trade it in for something similar. Also, cut and wrap hogs are also over there available as well too. The raffle tickets for it.
Way to be positive, Kevin. Way to be positive. Thanks. Yeah. Sorry, I'm raining on your parade. Yeah, you just totally 2 feet of my Cheerios, okay?
We bring out our top 5, and I think it really gets interesting. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I don't have that one that just hits me with all the pieces that I'm looking for. But I think if you could take some pieces out of each one of them and put them together, you could build that one. That being said, we have to rank them in the order that I see them today. And we're going to talk about those right quick. 5th place is going to be the young lady over here with the white bear. A bear that I really like, a midsection in him. I really like the footwork on him, the bone work. He's massive in his foot size. One to me, though, when you study him and get behind him, doesn't have that true muscle shape that we'd like to see. I'd like to show more thickness and more expression of muscle through that ham. I'd like to see more expression of muscle down that top to come up here and run with some of the others in the class. But one that, like I say, from a side profile has the look we're looking for. We just need simply more to him, in my opinion, to move up higher in class. Young lady that's going to be 4th is next over here with the belted bear. The bear that when you study him, another one of those that's been fed right, one of them's got that look, knows that we want to put some midsection into him, have that boldness of rib. This bear has that boldness of rib. To me, though, he's starting to get a little soft, not as true in his muscle shape, a little more counterfeit in his overall look. We, once again, don't see that expression of muscle that we see in the 3 above him, but a very good bear that I think logically kind of finds itself in the 4th place hole. In my opinion, it gets a little more difficult when you take these top 3 and sort through them, as I mentioned, some pieces and all, and which one do you put your priorities? And that makes it a little more difficult for me as we study them and all, because there's some things that I'd like to see changed in each one of them. Yet we bring them out here in 3rd place. Going to be the young man with the solid black bear down here. A bear that, once again, I really like him from the side. I really like the way he moves around. One of them has got it opened up in them shoulders. He's really pulled apart in those blades, showing some natural muscle shape when you get on top of him. To me, young man, what the problem becomes is when we study him from that back 1/3, when we get that that ham-loin junction, put him in motion, he wants to drop his tail set ever so slightly, not as square as some above him. We start to study him from the behind. I don't know if he's been had an injury or whatever. He's wanting to get a little puffy in those hocks, not move as free around the ring as we'd like to see him to, but one that's still got plenty of product in him. Then it really gets close in my mind between the 2. We look at those, and the one when you just see walk into class and studying from the side profile, the young man's wrong guilt just hits you hard. You get behind them and you start looking at muscle shape. The young man we have here, that's been the power pig of the whole show so far, in this opinion, when you talk about expression of muscle. The pieces that I'd like to change. The young man's guilt over there, one that you looking from the side, has that midsection we see, just looks a little more conditioned, a little more rib shape over the top. However, when you look at the foot size on this and put it in motion, then you got to question some things, because this pig, in my opinion, is one of the smaller footed, finer bone pigs that we have left in the class. One that put her in motion, wants to hit a little hard off the back end, but once again, has that middle section we like, has that muscle shape we like. The young man we have here, I talked about how expressive she is. One, though, that I'd like to see her, I think she's a little more raw in her overall makeup. I really think she needs about 10 more days on feed to get some more conditioning on her, to really open her up, blow her out in that rib shape, drop her down in that middle. Yet, I don't think we can discount the amount of pure terminal power that she has, that carcass value. Young man here is going to win the class. The young man with the wrong is going to be second.
All right, so first place for Class 3 is Wyatt Hester, Newberry High School FFA. Second place is Waylon James, Grohl Michaud. Third place is Nash Cox, Newberry 4-H Club. Fourth place is Lydia McGraw, Newberry 4-H Club. And fifth place is Ramsey Stanley, Mabane Middle School FFA. Now entering the ring for Class 4, Sarah McKnight, Santa Fe High School FFA. Ace Pearson, Hawthorne High School FFA. Anna Lee Tidwell, Hawthorne Area 4-H Club. Samantha Pernini Dykes, Hawthorne High School FFA. Kenzie White, Hawthorne Area 4-H Club. Mason Kramer, High Springs Community School FFA. Samantha Day, Newberry High School FFA. Emma Carroll, Santa Fe High School FFA. This weight class is from 250 to 251.
Once again, we made our selection of 5. We've got 3 left in the ring here. In 8th place is going to be the young man's belted bearer right here in front of me. One that I think we have a combination of things we need to do to it to move him on up. Number one, when we start studying from the base up, we need to change him on his pasterns. This guy wants to get down on his pasterns. He's finer boned as it is, and when he really gets down, it really stands out to you. The second thing, I think we move our way up, we just got to freshen him up some. He's really raw down that rib. We really need to blow him out there, add some conditioning, soften him up there. And then when you look at him from the amount of muscle shape, we simply don't have enough muscle, pure muscle in him compared to some above him to move him up higher in class. But one that's got the skeletal outline, one that's got the frame that you like, we just need to change those things about it to move it up. I think it really gets tough for me coming next because we've got 2 that's really getting stiff. I think we see some product in these 2, and if we can put these other 2 in motion, then I think you have to change the way we've done some our top 5 around, because these 2 right here have some muscle shape to them, have that look. To me, what we're looking for. Next, in 7th place, is going to be the young lady's bearer right here. One that's really extended, one that's really long, one that's got some muscle shape to him, maybe not as powerful as the ones above him, one that, like the young man we talked about him, though, when you study him from that ground up, wants to get really weak on them back pasterns. We need to add some more bone work there, get him up, raised up on his head more. But the biggest thing is he just simply can't, he's stiff. He can't move. We need to add more fluidity in his motion to move around the ring to get him placed higher in the class. The reason the young lady comes next, I think, just comes with the black belt, with the belted gilt right here, is just the amount of carcass product that she still possesses. Yes, she can't move around the ring. I won't deny that. And if we could change her in the way she moves, then she's definitely one that I think we'll be putting in the top 5 if we could do. But it's her mobility today that is keeping her from being in the top 5. But when you want to talk about carcass quality, the amount of muscle and power that she has, definitely the pig that deserves that honorable mention for the amount of power she's got. We just got to change the way she moves around the ring to make her to place her higher in the class. Let's give these 3 exhibitors a round of applause, and we'll place you top 5.
All right. 8th place is Mason Kramer, High Springs Community School, FFA. 7th place is Samantha Pernini Dykes, Hawthorne High School, FFA. And 6th place is Kinsey White, Hawthorne Area 4-H Club. I'd like to take this time to thank our silver sponsors, Mitchell's Catering, Blackwell Electric, Hobo Tractor Company, Campus USA Credit Union, Kale Partners, KPI Engineering, Inc., the family and friends of Ashton Hall, High Springs FFA, GRE Signs, H2 Engineering, SGS Contracting Services. Thank you all for being our silver sponsors.
We mentioned some that left a while ago, the amount of power they had, and if we could move more mobile, how they'd probably move their way up into some of the top five and switch everything. We just couldn't change those things, and so it leaves us with the situation. Y'all do have some different similarities and some high points and some low points, and it makes it difficult for me as we really analyze them. But I think as we study them and come back today, that there's two, when we look at them from that profile and moving the ring, that really kind of sort themselves out. Maybe not the heaviest muscle, maybe not the most extreme in one area, but I think just being able to move around, catch your eye, and keep finding your eye back to them. They draw your attention back. I think they have the best things about them. That being said, the young lady over here with the black bear is going to be third, a bear that I love from the muscle standpoint. Of the three we have left, probably the most expressive. Now, I'm not saying is an outlier as far as the overall muscle shape, but of the three that we have left, I probably see more natural muscle shape in him. Nonetheless, when we watch him move around the ring, he just keeps that head down. We don't see, he gets that blade set further back and lower in that chest, and just doesn't have that look as we move him around the ring. Yes, we'll grant that he has probably of the three left, the more, or the higher end of the muscle shape there, but I don't think the amount that he has justifies moving him up higher in class. Then we have the two left that are definitely different in style and similarities. The young lady here with the black gilt, one that caught my eye when she walked in the ring. I think, though, the longer we kept her in here, she wants to get dropped down in that top. She wants to get weaker in that loin. One that when you study her out there, walk away from her, we need to widen her out and make her walk more true. She wants to narrow up on you as she moves away from you. I don't think has that actual reach that we see that we need to move it up higher in the class. Young lady, you're going to be second. Young lady over here with the spotted bear is going to win the class today. I'll say this up front. I would like to add more ham shape to this bear. I'll recognize that up front. If we can change him, I think we need to make him more expressive there. But when you study him from a complete aspect, one that you watch him walk around the ring, he walks around with his head up, he has that look from the side, he has that silhouette that we're looking for. You study him over the top, he has plenty of muscle shape to him there, he has that rib shape. I think he moves good enough today, in my opinion, just the most complete to win the class. Let's give all of them a round of applause.
Class 4, in first place, Sarah McKnight, Santa Fe High School FFA. Second place, Samantha Day, Newberry High School FFA. Third place, Emma Carroll, Santa Fe High School FFA. Fourth place, Ace Pearson, Hawthorne High School FFA. Fifth place, Annalie Tidwell, Hawthorne Area 4-H Club. Let's have a round of applause for our Class 4 exhibitors. Now entering the ring for Class 5, Colton Harvey, Newberry High School FFA. Sean Kopman, Newberry High School, FFA. Bailey Akers, High Springs Community School, FFA. Bryson Osteen, Alachua Rope and Halter. Riley Stanley, Santa Fe High School, FFA. Brooke Walding, Santa Fe High School, FFA. Clay Dees, Countryside 4-H. Trig Worley, Hawthorne Area 4-H Club. Logan Shine, Santa Fe High School, FFA. Briar Boyd, Newberry 4-H Club. Swine in this class go from 252 to 256. I'd like to take this time to thank our bronze sponsors, TBC Services, JR and Crystal Richburg, Whitfield Window and Door, Decker Construction, Jessica Davis, McGriff Williams Insurance, Clint Davis Land Clearing, Micanopy Friendship 4-H, 4-H Town and Country at Cornerstone Academy, Sanders Grading LLC. Once again, Abigail Burrow, please come to the announcing stage so we can give you something that you lost. Abigail Burrow.
I'm gonna beat you later. I hope you know that. This kid knocked me over.
Yeah, I know about that. Not my fault.
At least
You got in the way.
Dude, it sweeped my leg. Did you see that?
Yes.
And then it came up behind me.
You know you're like 100 pounds.
What?
You know you're like 115 pounds.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm 155, 160. What?
All doing great. Proud of all of us.
How does it look like that?
Well, that just happened today.
Good job. Give me 5.
We've placed put our 5 in there, and we sort through these last 5 that we have in the ring. I think once again you get down to some differences. You have to study them. We talk about mobility, we talk about muscle shape, and to me, the one that I think we need to really change the most is the young man's here. He's going to be 10th. Better that you get behind him, he has some muscle shape, but when you watch him, he's straight on them feet and legs. He moves out really posty in his overall walk. We need to see more flexibility to him. One in comparison to some more in the class, we really need to open him up and add more natural power, just more true muscle shape down through him to move him up in class. In 9th place is going to be the young lady we have coming in right here with the belted barrel. One kind of the same day. I think you just need to widen him out, add more muscle expression to him. One that I think has more flexibility to his feet and legs, though, than the young man's we just spoke. And I think that's the big difference between the two there is the flexibility of their feet and legs. Then I think you got to study some differences coming next. One that I really like when they come in here, yet it's a mobility issue as well, just really straight through those shoulders. Doesn't want to get out and move around, really arches that back for us today. The young man's bear right here, he's going to be 8th today. One that we talk about that flex, that mobility. If they can't get out here and move, it just really makes them hard to evaluate. I do see some positives in this bear, but once again, it's those feet and legs that bring him down here to the spot that we find him in. Then I think in 7th place, we find the other young man here with the spot. The spot bear there. One that, once again, you see him move around. He has more reach than some of the ones we see, but I think the problem comes when you get behind him. We talk about that pure power, that pure amount of muscle shape. Not enough curvature to that ham, not enough true muscle shape when you study him from the top to be placed any higher in the class today. Then we'll come down next to the young lady's gilt that we have walking here. One that does have that muscle shape to her. I think it becomes a structural issue for me, just a design issue as far as getting in that top 5. It was really close in my mind, but when we put this gilt in motion, she just doesn't have that natural extension of neck, that extension of front end. She wants to get a little low in her tail set, which doesn't give her that balance that we need to see as she moves around the ring. Also, we need to open her. I see some natural shape of muscle down her top, but when she walks, she doesn't walk as true as I'd like to see. She wants to narrow it up at the base. We need to widen her up there as she moves away from herself. She has the flex and reach that we need to see. I just don't think she carries that true power all the way down to the feet and legs, doesn't square it up enough to be placed up in the top 5. Let's give them a round of applause as they exit the ring, and then we'll place your top 5.
In 6th place, we have Bailey Akers, High Springs Community School, FFA. 7th place, we have Logan Shine, Santa Fe High School, FFA. 8th place, we have Trig Worley, Hawthorne Area 4-H Club. 9th place, we have Riley Stanley, Santa Fe High School, FFA. And in 10th place, we have Clay Dees, Countryside 4-H.
We got our top 5 out here, and I think there's just some differences once again that we get. Sometimes you just get in those situations where you just wish you could take a cookie cutter and just stamp them out, but we're not running into that tonight, and you have to sort through and find the pieces that are light. And in 5th place is going to be the young man right here in front of me. I think a gilt that's extended. I think a gilt that's got, when you get over the top, you see that natural groove in her. You see that natural muscle shape. She's wanting to get a little stiff on you today off both ends. She's wanting to get a little high in that spine as she moves around the ring, and she doesn't have that pure muscle shape that we see in some of the pigs in front of her, but still a very good gilt that we have here in 5th place. 4th place going to come to the young lady with the belted bear over there in the corner. One that just didn't want to get out and really present itself to you for us tonight. One, in my opinion, when you study from foot size, bone work, we just need to add more mass there. Not as rugged in the overall design as we'd like to see. One that's got some eye appeal from the side, yet when you get right over, we don't see that muscle shape that we need as far as ham size that we want to move up higher in the class, but a really good bear that we have here in 4th place. Then I think we're getting 3 that becomes more interesting and intriguing to me. We had one that didn't want to get in the pen, and the young man Spot over here, he's going to be 3rd today. This bear really catches your attention. You like his growth factor that he has to him. You like that skeletal outline. You like his extension he has. He's really attractive from the side view. Yet when you compare him to the contemporaries he's got left here in the class, you talk about muscle, pure power, that muscle shape, that natural curvature to the ham, that curvature through the rib. We're just getting a little flatter and all that compared to the 2 placed above her. That's not to discount a good bear we have here. It's just simply put, we've got 2 more muscle in the last 2 that we have in him. And then I think it gets real close. And I'm going to say something here that I'm going to say as an ag teacher, not to offend, but I think it's my job as an ag teacher to teach as well as out here and judge. I think it comes down to some differences in presentation. And presentation sometimes means in how you get them ready as far as how well they look. Young man's got his spotted gilt really cleaned up, really shining as she walks around here, keeps that head up. But when we study her, we find some faults in her, young man. She wants to get outside of her skeleton as she moves around. She wants to get more stiff on her hind feet and legs, but she's really nice looking. I just think in her look, she's a little dry over that rib. We need to soften her up there just a touch, add some more flex. Now, I said that a while ago to say this, young lady, and I hope I don't embarrass you, but we just need to get this gilt cleaned up a bit more. She's dirty. That doesn't help her in when you come into the ring. I mean, a beauty pageant. But nonetheless, I think it's my job to evaluate from not on the wash job. That'll be tomorrow night. But when you study her and look through that dirt and look through what you got here, we've got a really good gilt. One that's really opened up from the ground up. One that's really pulled apart in that shoulder. One that's got that muscle mass to her. One that I think moves freely enough. Is she the most flexible gilt we've seen tonight? No, she's not. But when you study her in this class and what we got, I think she puts all the complete pieces together to win this class. Let's give him a round of applause.
Class 5, first place, we have Brooke Walding, Santa Fe High School, FFA. Second place, we have Bryson Osteen, Alachua Rope and Halter. Third place, we have Colton Harvey, Newberry High School, FFA. Fourth place, we have Briar Boyd, Newberry 4-H Club. And in fifth place, we have Sean Cotman, Newberry High School, FFA. Let's have a round of applause for Class 5 exhibitors. Let's have a round of applause for all of our helpers here. Even the judge picked up a board for us. All right, entering the ring for Class 6. These swine weigh from 258 pounds to 261 pounds. Joseph Pacelli, Hawthorne High School, FFA. Laurel Duke, Newberry High School, FFA. Caleb Crozier, High Springs Community School, FFA. Elijah Hood, High Springs Community School, FFA. Brantley Smith, Grow 'em and Show 'em. Taylor Greenberg, Hawthorne Middle School, FFA. Zach Williams, Santa Fe High School, FFA. Shepard Simmons, Grow 'em and Show 'em. Ashlyn Zamora, Santa Fe High School, FFA. And Chrislyn Van Zandt, Hawthorne Middle School, FFA.
Well, this is ours.
We've selected our 5. We start working our way back and start going through them. In 10th place is going to be the young lady over here with the belted gilt. One that I think when you start talking about mobility, you got to have some issues. She's wanting to hit it hard from the back left leg. One that just needs more bone mass to her. We need to drop her down in that flank. She's wanting to get high and dry in that flank. If we could change that about her, I think we could potentially move her up higher in the class. 9th place is going to go to the young lady right over here. Gilt that's got a lot of muscle shape to her. She's expressive. She's just more raw in her overall design. So we need to add some more softness to her. We need to drop her down in that flank and that full rib and just power her up when we go from behind because she just wants to get a little narrower in her overall base width. I think when you study them next, 8th is going to go to the young lady with the Duroc barrel, one that he's really extended, he's really long. I like the foot in him. It's one of those things when we talk about that shape over the top. He's just more flatter in his overall muscle shape. Don't see that true natural thickness to him. Just a little more plain in his overall makeup today to move higher up in the class. Excuse me. Young lady over here, Bear is going to be 7th, the blue butt. One that's not wanting to get out and move far today really makes it kind of hard to visualize and see her. One that's got some midsection to her. I think just, in my opinion, for the amount of muscle shape she's got, true muscle shape, just getting a little soft for us today. We need to get her out, make her more flexible, put her on the move, maybe trim her up, make her a little leaner, or make him a little leaner, rather. And the way he's put together, I think for the amount of muscle shape he's got, just getting a little too soft for us today. Honorable mention was very close in the top 5. Young man's here, Bear is coming next. One that I like from a design standpoint, in my opinion, if we can make this guy more mobile, just really make him more flexible out of his hip, then I think he moves up. From the loin forward, I really like him. I think he moves out well, but we start to get some trouble. He's walking outside of his skeleton, just really hitting him hard and really hitting him stiff. I think that causes problem to analyze as he moves around the ring. But a good honorable mention to be in the top 5, young man. Let's give him a round of applause.
All right, so in 6th place we have Elijah Hood in High Springs Community School, FFA. 7th place we have Taylor Greenberg, Hawthorne Middle School, FFA. 8th place we have Ashlyn Samora, Santa Fe High School, FFA. 9th place we have Chrislyn Van Zant, Hawthorne Middle School, FFA. And 10th place, we have Laurel Duke, Newberry High School, FFA.
We got our top 5 back out in the ring. We gave the young man in 6th while ago an honorable mention. We walked him around, and I think it was really close between this young man and the other one we mentioned for 5th and 6th place. Young man right here with the white gilt's going to be 5th. Gilt that I think still has some muscle shape to her, has some of that product we're looking for, really long and extended through that front end, really level as you get her out. I just don't think she ties in as well as that ham-loin junction we'd like to see. I don't think she has that curvature of rib that we need, just a little drier in her overall look when you study her from the side, but a really good gilt that we have here in the 5th place. Following next, young man here with the white barrel is going to be 4th. One of those that you like him from a standpoint, from when he profiles and walks him down the side, he really silhouettes like I want to see. It's just when we get on top of him and get from behind him, he's just a little more counterfeit in his true muscle shape. Not as expressive as I'd like to see compared to those above him to be placed higher, but a really good bear that I think kind of logically finds its way into the 4th place hole. 3rd place is going to be the young man right here with the belted bear next. One that when you study him, this young man does an excellent job getting that head up, getting this bear presented. I really like him from the side. It's just he's starting to have some feet and leg problems off that rear. He really wants to reach up under him, gets a little too much set to his hop when we study him moving out. I don't think he has the pure muscle shape when you study him from behind that we see in the 2 above him bear that we have here in 3rd place. And 2nd place is going to be the young man's gilt that we have over here. One that you want to talk about product, you want to talk about power, you can talk about carcass in her all day long. This is the gilt to talk about in the class. She really has all those features to her. She's really expressive over the top. She's really wide when you study from behind. I don't think she naturally has that extension of front end. I don't think she has that curvature, that middle shape, that rib that we want to see in comparison to the one that's going to win the class today. Because the one that wins the class in my mind is a combination of 2nd and 3rd. This young man does an excellent job presenting this bear as he walks around the ring, really keeps his head up. He catches your eye from the time he walks in, keeps him at a good steady speed. You steady the muscle shape, you get on top of him, you talk about cracked open over those shoulders. This bear is really cracked open. You see that natural groove when you look down him. You get behind him, he walks wide, he tracks out just as square as you could expect him to. He's got that muscle, he's got that power, he shows that depth of twist, that muscle from stifle to stifle that I'm looking for. Just a very good complete bear to win this class. Let's give him all a round of applause. Good job.
Class 6, 1st place is Zach Williams, Santa Fe High School FFA. 2nd place is Brantley Smith, Grow 'em and Show 'em. 3rd place is Joseph Bocelli, Hawthorne High School FFA. 4th place is Caleb Crozier, High Springs Community School FFA. And rounding it out in 5th place is Shepard Simmons, Grow 'em and Show 'em. Let's have a round of applause for all of our Class 6 exhibitors. Now entering the ring for Class 7 is Kendall Williams, Santa Fe High School, FFA. Chloe Walding, Santa Fe High School, FFA. Caitlin Dillard, Hawthorne Area 4-H Club. Cheyenne Lalonde, Santa Fe High School, FFA. Kyle Moore, Hawthorne Middle School, FFA. Adam Elkins, Newberry 4-H Club. Aubrey Freilich, Santa Fe High School, FFA. Derek Wooten, Grow 'em and Show 'em. Tyler Moore, Newberry 4-H Club, and Grace Mitchell, Newberry High School, FFA.
You said it, I know. Came out of your mouth. Came out of your mouth.
Take care of it.
Keep an eye on everything now.
Oh yeah, we gotta bring them on fight. All right. What else we got here, bro? Just spray it on him. He's really fine. So. And there's y'all sticking.
Buddy, I couldn't take it. Right now, paint the feet. You should get the last third and
We made our 5 selection. We've got 5 left out in the ring. In 10th place is going to be the young man over here in the corner. We've just got issues of mobility, young man. Gilt just wants to get too stiff in her overall movement. She's wanting to get a little high in her chine as she moves around this ring. I appreciate the amount of muscle she does have to her, but it's those mobility issues in my mind that moves her on down. She's really, really tight off that right front leg that just makes her hard to get around the ring. Coming in to 9th place, and I apologize, y'all. I just taught this wrong. This is 10th place, excuse me, right here. This is the young man with the one that's got the mobility issues right here. The front right leg right here. Just one that's getting a little soft, just a little wastier in it. Young man over here is actually 9th. Excuse me there, y'all, for the confusion. One that, as I said, just wants to move around a little stiff on me as well. Just, I think, has a little more mobile than the young man we've used here in 9th. Just a little more leaner, a little more muscle shape than we've got the young man here in 10th. Coming next going to be the young man right over here. One that just gets a little, in my mind, a little higher in the flank. We don't see that natural muscle shape that we need in it to move it up higher. We just don't see the open up in the shoulders as we'd like to see. Just one that we've got to just add more base width and more power to move up. Young lady over here is going to be next in 7th place. More moderate frame gilt there that's really deep in her chest floor, one that's really got some look from the side, but when you get behind her is where she disappoints. The amount of muscle shape she has in her ham just doesn't match the first 2/3 of her body. I think we really need to stouten her up there, widen her up in her base width as we move her around the ring, but one that I still appreciate from the side view. Now we've got the one coming in 6th that really made it a hard decision for me. One that I think when it come down to it, I like the length of body. I like the squareness of this bear. We just need to drop him down in the flank, drop him down in that midsection some to move him up. I really considered moving him in 5th. It was really tight for me, but I think one that we just, when it come down to it, just doesn't have that overall depth in that midsection, that full rib, that overall curvature of rib that we need to be moved up. Let's give these 5 a round of applause and we'll place our top 5.
Sixth place in Class 7 is Grace Mitchell, Newberry High School, FFA. 7th place is Kendall Williams, Santa Fe High School, FFA. 8th place is Adam Elkins, Newberry 4-H Club. 9th place is Kyle Moore, Hawthorne Middle School, FFA. And 10th place is Tyler Moore, Newberry 4-H Club.
Once again, we got some differences in these 5 that we've brought back, but I think they've all got plenty of power. I think they've all got enough look. A while ago I mentioned it was closer for 5th and 6th. I still agree with that. Young man over here is going to be our 5th place bearer today. One that I think when you put him in motion, he gets a little, wants to walk a little wide. He's right on that edge of being walking right outside of his skeleton. One that's got plenty of power in him though. I think he was deeper in that flank. I think he had more midsection to him in the one that we taught in 6, and that's why when I was thinking him in class, he's going to find his way into the 5th place hole. Then to me, we've got some more that would come out. Young lady right across from me, she's going to be 4th place today. One that I really like this when she presents this animal, keeps his head up, brings it out. You really like this animal, and I'm going to tell you, there was times that I thought we was going to move him up in class. It's just when we put him in motion and walking away from me. He wants to get narrow based on him. I don't think he's as good in that tail set as squaring that hip as some more that we have out here. I don't think he has that true muscle shape when you steady him through that ham, that stifle to stifle, that depth of twist as some more we have in here. But a really good bear that we have here in the 4th place, one that you really like from the side profile. I just need to stouten him up in the ham and in his back 1/3 to move him up higher in class. Then in my mind, I think you got one that we talk about power, definitely has plenty of power. This is the power gilt of the class. She's really deep. She's got that midsection. She's got that silhouette, that drop down underline that we want to see. You steady from behind. She's really wide. She's expressive, the most expressive gilt in the class, but it comes with a cost. It makes her stiff. She's wanting to get where she's not walking as freely and doesn't have that flex off of her hind rear tooth that we need. She wants to pinch right there in that ham-loin junction ever so slightly. It wants to even wrinkle up a little bit. That makes her, when she puts it in motion, she wants to get higher in her spine. If we could change those things with the amount of power that she's got, change her mobility, she finds her way right on up to the top. Unfortunately, she's just not flexible enough for you today, young lady, but a very good gilt that we have next. I think we get down to 2 that when you start talking about putting pieces together, probably not the most extreme in any areas, but just complete. Just really complete pigs. I think you walk around. But to me, when we get in these 2, it comes down to foot size, bone width, ruggedness of design. Which one do I still see has got all these features, but still I don't know that has reached the max potential that this pig could reach as far as growth, as far as blowing them out and add some more. Is it the most expressive? No. But when you talk about rugged design, it's definitely there. Young lady here, bear is going to be 2nd. One that I like the muscle shape in her, but we talked about that ruggedness. Young lady, she just doesn't have that rugged size. She doesn't have that foot size, that bone work that we find in our class winner today. Is he expressive? Yes, he is. Do I like him from the side? Yes. I wish we could get his head up just a little higher as we moved around the ring. I think it'd make him look even fancier. But he's still a very good bear to go and say it. Once again, I think it's just that bone worth, that structure that we put him on that changes things. Young ladies here, Calico's going to win the class. One that catches your attention from the time she walks in. I will admit, anybody wants to critique it in the back, I won't sit here and argue with it. Is it the most extreme muscled in the class? No, it's not. That's where I'm going to argue all day long with you, though, that it's the most complete in the class. This bear glides around this ring. He's really eye-appealing from the side. He's got that silhouette we want. You steady him over the top. He's got enough muscle to him. He's cracked open enough through those shoulders. He's got that natural groove down his top. He's square enough in that hip. He's got a tail set like I want. Yes, if I could change him, I'd widen him up when he walks away from you. Square him up a little wider as I move away. Add some more muscle and expression to his hands if I could change him. But when you talk about a complete creature that walks around the ring, for me, he's the one today to win the class. Congratulations.
Class 7, first place, Caitlin Dillard, Hawthorne Area 4-H Club. Second place, Aubrey Freilich, Santa Fe High School, FFA. Third place, Chloe Walding, Santa Fe High School, FFA. Fourth place, Cheyenne Lalonde, Santa Fe High School, FFA. And fifth place, Derek Wooten, Girl Michaud. Let's have a round of applause for our Class 7 exhibitors. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention at the ring here. This past year, we lost one of our exhibitors, Ashton Hall. Her jacket is displayed right here in front of the stage, and we are choosing to honor her tonight. And her grandpa's here to share a few words with us, Mr. John Green.
I'm going to try to make this through this, so y'all bear with me. First of all, I want to put a thank you out to the Alachua County Fair Board, the High Springs Community School, the High Springs FFA chapter, and the one thing about it is our community. You asked me what I'm talking about. Thanksgiving Day, we had a fatality accident up on the interstate. We lost my mother-in-law and my granddaughter in that accident that my wife and I were in. So you kind of see the shirt, the Post-it note that I'm wearing, and you see a lot of the kids in memory of her. We have the Keep Smiling bracelets on. Thursday morning, Thanksgiving Day, before we left the house, Ashton put a Post-it note on the mirror on her dresser, and on that Post-it note it said, "Keep smiling." God knew what was going to happen that day, and he knew that he needed to put that Post-it note on that mirror for us to be able to make it. So I'm telling you this to tell you that the Friday before Thanksgiving, when Ashton come home from school, she had a complete meltdown with her grandma, telling her that everything that she was doing didn't matter. That she seen kids in her class that were hurting. She knew the kids that had issues that, you know, just as 8th grade students, it's rough to be an 8th grader, I was told. And she knew it. And so she would reach out and she would touch them, and she would just try to make them smile, just trying to make them laugh, just to try to let them know that somebody cared about them, even if it was just her. But the one thing about it, she didn't know that until the Friday before the funeral, the week after Thanksgiving. The school did a memorial for us. Volunteered. These kids didn't have to do it, they asked. We have a 3-inch binder that was given to us from the school that are filled with remarks from these kids, telling us what she meant to them. Whether it was just her smile, her touch, just them knowing that she was their friend. That, you know, even though kids were mean and everything, it's still the letters you would just have to read. It just was amazing to find that all these kids. And then you turn around and you question me about what my babbling is. You look at these people, this fair board, the kids back there showing pigs. Everybody has been behind us, behind what she was doing, because what she was doing is true. It was love straight from her heart. And so the only thing that I really want to say, especially to the 8th graders, especially to the middle schoolers, what you do matters. What you do to people, good or bad, matters and can change somebody. And people ask me sometimes, they say, John says, you know, if she could see one thing, what would you want her to see? I would want her to see that 3-inch binder that those kids put together of the love that they had for her. Because she would sit, the one girl that comes to my mind, and she would sit behind her. Ashton would sit behind her. And Ashton would know that she was having a bad day or whatever just because they knew. And Ashton would braid her hair. I know, thank you, Skipper. And she would just touch her. And that girl said that she will miss that on those bad days. She'll miss knowing that Ashton had her back. So I'm just telling you, the only thing that I really want to say is I'm very thankful to the committee, And I'm very thankful to the community. Our community, if you think that you live in a little community that nobody gives a flying flip about people, I'm here to tell you that they do. People that I don't even know, never met, I have friends now because they'll walk up to me and go, man, I heard your story. I love you. I just let you know I got you back. We've had people come to the house that I don't know and probably never see it again just to come up and tell them, hey, man, I love you. This is good. Keep the good fight. This will win. So I just want you to know, and I'm very thankful to the Fair Board for letting us put up this jacket. Ashton got chosen by her chapter this year to be the president of the high school, of the High Springs chapter. That was the biggest honor that she's had in a long time, and she was proud to be the president of that chapter. That chapter's been awesome. The Fair Board's been awesome, and I just want to tell you from the bottom of mine and my family's heart, I love y'all. I appreciate you. Everything that everybody's done for me and my family, and I just want you to know that touch somebody, make a difference, and let them know that what you do will make a difference to them. Thank you for letting me speak.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in honor of Ashton Hall, her pig is out there in the ring right now. If we could just have a moment of silence in her honor. Amen. Let's have one last round of applause for Ashton Hall and her family.
Oh, there's a horse show too? I haven't seen any horses yet. We don't have that. It's out the horse arena. Oh.
All right, Class 8 entering the ring. We have Ashton Hall's Pig shown by Grant Welch from High Springs Community School, FFA. Caitlin Pettyjohn, High Springs Community School, FFA. Ava Adams, Santa Fe High School, FFA. Rachel Miller, Newberry 4-H Club. Owen Tyner, Newberry 4-H Club. Eli Surrency, Hawthorne Middle School, FFA. Taylor Berryhill, Hawthorne High School, FFA. Luke James, Growham and Showham. Christopher Hines, Newberry 4-H Club. Chase Holland, Hawthorne High School, FFA. Kyra Wick, High Springs Community School, FFA. And Riley Hester, Newberry High School, FFA. Swine in this class are from 266 pounds to 269 pounds.
Zach. 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 Amanda. Amanda.
One of our diamond sponsors, Lifestyle Community Blood Centers, is still here. They are taking blood donations. If you didn't want to do it in the heat of the day, they're still waiting for you out there. So we thank them for their service and support of Alachua County Youth Fair.
Can you tell me where the kid in the white hat's going? Which way? The one in the white hat. He's going over here or over here? He should be behind me.
Once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, our platinum sponsors, Texas Trailers, who sponsored this trailer over here and donated it to the Alachua County Youth Fair to raffle off. So we have tickets available over there in the table in front of it. If you don't like that style of trailer, we can make some changes. So contact them for more information at that table. Also, they have cut and wrap tickets as well for a cut and wrap hog. And then other platinum sponsors, Watson's C&D, they've donated the bins out there for all the shavings. We appreciate them and their contribution. And B&M Equipment, thank you to our platinum level sponsors.
one of our larger classes tonight, and you'll have to pardon me because it just took a minute because they were all of them wanting to hit the corners on us all of a sudden, and just a few more in the ring to sort through. In 12th place tonight is going to be the young lady right over here with the belted gilt. gilt that I think when you just study this class, the amount of power that we had come into it, the amount of just the way they're put together structure-wise, this is a gilt, in my opinion, just getting a little fine bone, smaller footed, wants to get tied off both ends, just doesn't have that muscle shape that we've seen in some of the ones above her. So we're going to put her in the 12th place hole tonight. Next one we have in 11th place is going to be the gilt right here. A gilt that's really long spine, a gilt that's got that depth of body, that chest floor we like. I don't know if she's injured her back right leg or whatever, but she's moving around real stiff. Just doesn't have that expression of muscle that we need to be moved up higher in the class. 10th place, going to go to the young man with the mass bear over here in the corner. Just once again, we talk about mobility in these things. We got to get them out, get them moving around the ring so we can really see them. This bear just didn't want to cooperate tonight. When he does finally get in motion, he gets really tied off of his front end. Doesn't have that flex and reach that we want to see. Get over to the top of him. I think he wants to pinch right there in his ham-loin junction. Just like to see him widen up from behind when he walks away from us to move higher in class. I think we start to get into some spots now. It's really getting tougher. This, I think, was a deep class. Not only was one of the larger sizes, but really a deep class here. Next, we're going to have the young man in the far side with the spotted bear coming next. One that we get that chest floor in him, one that we're starting to see a little more muscle shape to him, just a little plain in his overall look. I'd like to see him more descriptive in overall muscle shape, read with more true muscle down that top, add more curvature and flair to that ham to be moved up in class. Then I think that leaves me, I gotta find my place around here again now. They all moving on me. That's him right over there. So we at 8th place. That's where we're at. Okay. 8th place is going to be the young man with the black gilt right here in front of me. A gilt that really attractive from the time she comes in, really extended through that front end, keeps her head up. I just think she's a little too raw in her overall makeup for me. She wants to get a little high in that chine bone for me. One that I don't think is as expressive as she could be when you get right over the top as far as pulled apart. Now, she has that muscle shape. She has that natural groove down her top, but I'd like to see more curvature to that rib. We'd like to add more curvature there so we can lay a foundation for a larger, wider top on her. One that I think gets a little narrow in her base width when you study her there. Just doesn't have that true muscle shape to her to be moved up higher in class. 7th place, one that really catches your eye in my book. As far as the muscle that he has, is this pig over here in the corner. He's going to be 7th today, the young man's bear. One that I like the muscle shape in him. He's really rugged and raw in his design, big-footed, big bone. But then we start running into some issues I'd like to change about him. I'd like to make him higher in that front end. I'd like to make him deeper in that flank. Move him around with a little more flex. But one that really just keeps catching the eye for the amount of power he's got, I just think he gets a bit piecey for me today. The young lady's bear that we have next, she'll be in 6th place today. I think it was really close. I went and stood over the top of him and looked. Bear that I like the design. She's really got that depth of flank in her. She's got that chest floor. Once again, going back to that curvature of rib, we need more curvature there. We need to strengthen her up right there in her ham-loin junction. She wants to pinch and get a little weak there for me, or he does, excuse me. And I think when you study him from behind, he doesn't track as true as I'd like for him to, just on the verge of getting a little outside of himself. Let's give all these a round of applause, and we'll sort through our top 5.
In 12th place, we have Kyra Wig, High Springs Community School, FFA. 11th place, we have the Ashton Hall Memorial Pig, shown by Grant Welch, High Springs Community School, FFA. 10th place, we have Luke James, Grolam and Shoal. 9th place, we have Eli Serency, Hawthorne Middle School, FFA. 8th place, we have Christopher Hines, Newberry 4-H Club. 7th place, we have Owen Tyner, Newberry 4-H Club. And 6th place, we have Caitlin Pettyjohn, High Springs Community School, FFA. Also, just in case you're running her, we do have a contest going on with contest between the chapters for blood donations. Micanopy 4-H is in the lead, with also Hawthorne FFA is also in the lead. So keep donating all weekend.
We got to talk our top 5. In 5th place is going to be the young lady right over here in the corner. The pig's just giving up on you, young lady. I just want to stay in that corner. It's making it hard for you to get her out here or get him out here and drive him in front of me. One that we really debated keeping between that and 6th place in the final 5 there. Young lady, I think, has got a really good bear, one that's got plenty of muscle to him. I think we get some issues. I'd like to lengthen him up the spine. He wants to get a little short-sided for me, wants to get a little more compact in his overall build. One that I need to raise his tail set up. I think he wants to round out of his hip a bit more. And then when we get behind him, I just don't see that true muscle shape that we find in some of the other pigs around here. But nonetheless, a very good bear that we have in here in 5th place. Then we come down in 4th place. Going to be the young lady right here in front of me, her bear right here. One that you like from a design standpoint from the side. He's extended, got some curvature to the rib. One of those that I think we start seeing some issues with. He's got that depth we see in the flank, but we also can't go without noticing the fatty tumor that we see there. I think it gets really distracts sometimes from him. When you study him from the feet and leg, he's wanting to get soft in those pasterns. Doesn't really have that reach and flex I'd like for him to see to be moved up in class, but a good bear that you've got here in 4th place. I think we get down to our final 3. It gets a little more interesting to me, I think, as we study him walking around the ring. Young lady over there in the corner is going to be 3rd for me today. Once again, a bear that has the look. She has that curvature of rib. I think the difference with me is when we study him in the lower 1/3 of that ham. I just don't see that natural thickness that we find in that lower 1/3 through that twist that we find in some of those above him. We need to stouten him up there, add more curvature, more muscle, more pure muscle power there to be moved up in class. Then I think it comes down to functionality and movement. Really like the look from this one from the side. One that catches your eye when you walk him in the ring, but the longer he stays out here, the stiffer he gets off his back feet and legs. Don't want to keep that head up as high on him. He wanting to start hitting pretty hard off that back right leg, and I think that becomes the difference today in him going 1st or 2nd as we watch him move around the ring. He's going to be 2nd. Young man over here is going to win the class. One that can keep the head up, one that's more extended. Yes, could I change him out of that hip a little bit? I think so. Or change her rather. I'd like to change her a little bit in the way she sits in that tail set, but nonetheless, the way she's able to flex, able to move around, to me, she's the most complete and will win the class. Congratulations to all y'all.
So Class 8, first place, we have Chase Holland from Hawthorne High School, FFA. Second place, we have Riley Hester, Newberry High School, FFA. Third place, we have Taylor Berryhill, Hawthorne High School, FFA. Fourth place, we have Ava Adams, Santa Fe High School, FFA. And fifth place, we have Rachel Miller, Newberry 4-H Club. Class 12, Whitney Davis, Alachua Rope and Halter. Caleb Jacobs, Hawthorne Area 4-H Club. Holly Moore, Hawthorne Area 4-H Club. Colby Whitfield, Newberry High School, FFA. Chloe Fiegel, Hawthorne High School, FFA. Tony Myers, Santa Fe High School, FFA. Kinsley Mosher, Alachua Rope and Halter. Haley Molander, Hawthorne High School, FFA. Emma Zaragoza, High Springs Community School, FFA. Tate Howell, Grow 'em and Show 'em. Daniel Hodge, Newberry High School, FFA. And Autry Pendarvis, Newberry 4-H Club.
got you. If you kind of.
Let's go, Tony!
We start sorting through our remaining pigs that we have left out here. I think there's just some differences that kind of stand out to me the way we go through. In 12th place is going to be the young lady in the far corner with the black bear. A bear that I just think we just need to stouten him up, move him on to move him on up in class. One that just doesn't he's just more plain in his overall design. Just not as doesn't have all the bells and whistles that we need as far as thickness and eye appeal to be moved up higher in class. Just a little fine in his bone work to be moved up higher. Next, we're going to follow with the young lady right here. One that's just kind of, once again, just more nondescript in her overall muscle shape, wanting to start stiffening up on her front feet and legs and the way she moves around the ring. We just got to change that functionality up in order to move her up higher in class. 10th place is going to go to the young lady with the red spot over here. One again that when we talk about bone work and foot size, I just think we need to make her make him more rugged in the way he's put together. He just wants to get a little loose in the way he moves around the ring. I don't think is as functional as we'd like to see. I'd like to change the way he's made over the top, just open him up more, add more muscle shape to him as well. Then 9th place is going to go to the young lady right here with the white or the mask gilt that's walking around. One, to me, I like the design of this gilt. I just think we're starting to add a little more conditioning. She's just, to me, just past where she needs to be in her prime as far as conditioning goes. Just not as, just a little more counterfeit in the way she's made as far as that muscle shape in comparison to some more around here. Then we're going to come next with the young man that we have right here in front of me. Another powerfully made gilt, one that's just really square in the overall makeup, especially the way she comes out of that hip. I just don't think it simply is enough to her. She's just more modern in her frame size, just not as opened up as much as we'd like to be. We'd like to change her in that front end, really get her more extended to stand out more in this class. Once again, to move her up as far as we need to be moving up. Next, we got. Let me find it. I'm on 8. Yeah, I done got lost. Was that 8th place? Where was the place? 7-6. I apologize. I got tangled up in my numbers again. 7 and 6. I think that, to me, these two really close, and there was two that we really looked at as far as keeping in the top 5. In 7th place will be the young man right here with the belted bear. A bear that you really like. One, though, as far as we considered keeping him for the top 5, I think he just gets higher in his spine, a little steeper off his feet and legs, wants to get a little weaker in his pasterns than I'd like to see. But just them little things as far as being able to keep him. In 6th place, young lady right here in front of me with the blue button bear. One that I think is more extreme in his overall makeup. When you look at him, just a little more raw down the top. Very expressive in his muscle shape. One, I think when you talk about cutability and all, this is one that you could probably talk about higher cutability because of the amount of muscle he's got. I just think he's too extreme in the way he's put together. We need to soften him up. We need to drop him down in the flank, add more depth to that underline, especially right there in that flank section to move him up in class. But those two were definitely in contention as we talked about the top 5. Let's give these a round of applause as they exit the ring, and then we'll evaluate our top 5.
All right, so Class 9, we have 6th place Holly Moore, Hawthorne Area 4-H Club. 7th place, we have Caleb Jacobs, Hawthorne Area 4-H Club. 8th place, we have Tony Myers, Santa Fe High School FFA. 9th place, we have Whitney Davis, Alachua Rope and Halter. 10th place, we have Chloe Fiegel, Hawthorne High School FFA. 11th place, we have Kinsley Mosher, Alachua Rope and Halter. And in 12th place, we have Emma Zaragoza, Hot Springs Community School FFA.
We take our top 5 out here. In 5th place is going to be the young man right over here. Once again, we like this pig. We brought it back. I like the rib shape in him, in him. I like the amount of muscle he got. But when you put him in motion, he wants to get a little higher in his spine. He wants to drop that head down on me. Doesn't have that extension of neck. He wants to get a little lower bladed than I'd like to see to move him up higher in class. In 4th place is going to be the young man that walks right here behind him. One that I think is a little more extended through that front end, a little longer in that blade set there. But one that when you take it on back, instead of from behind, I think it just gets a little weaker in that ham-loin junction there. Wants to pinch a little bit on me. When you study him, doesn't have that extension, that overall eye appeal that we need to see to be moved higher in class. I think when we get to these final 3, though, it really becomes more different. 3rd place is the young man right here. He brings this bear in, one that really, the way he drives this bear, keeps his head up, comes from the side. When I can look at him from the side, boy, he looks like $1 million to me. It's when I fall in behind him that I start to get disappointed there. Just doesn't have the bone work, doesn't have the ruggedness and design that we see from these others, doesn't have that pure muscle shape and pure ham that we find in these other 2 that we find above you right here. His 2nd place is going to be the young lady right here in front of me. A bear that you really like the muscle shape in him. I think when you start hitting him hard, you got to hit him on his structure a little bit. He's wanting to walk a little stiffer off his back, feet, and legs. Just doesn't have that flex, that fluidity that we'd like to see. But one that's got the power, got the look from the side. I just think he's got to be a little more fluid in his walk to be moved up higher. Then we come down to the one that's going to win our class, one that you just talk about power in a package. No, it's not the largest package. It's not the largest skeletal, but it is a complete package, one that's packed with muscle, one that I've been talking about curvature of rib all day. This pig's got that curvature of rib. We've been wanting that muscle expression. This one right here may be the most expressively muscled pig I've seen all day. It just comes in here, and it's one of those classes, not to discredit anybody else's pig, but this young lady just drove one in here that just dominated the class in the way it's put together, the combination he puts for me. I just really am impressed with the overall package and completeness of this pig. Congratulations.
Class 9, 1st place, Danielle Hodge, Newberry High School, FFA. 2nd place, Haley Molander, Hawthorne High School, FFA. Third place, Colby Whitfield, Newberry High School, FFA. Fourth place, Tate Howell, Groveman Show. And in fifth place, Autrey Pendarvis, Newberry 4-H Club. Let's have a round of applause for our Class 9 exhibitors.
I'm gonna pull this one right here just a little.
Coming into the ring, Class 10, Peyton Osteen, High Springs Community School, FFA. Waylon White, Hawthorne Middle School, FFA. Kylie Bartlett, Micanopy Friendship 4-H. Graham Eubanks, Micanopy Friendship 4-H. Donovan Ferguson, Hawthorne High School, FFA. Lindsay Stevens, Hawthorne Middle School, FFA. Dylan Brady, Santa Fe High School, FFA. Michael Wonder, Newberry 4-H Club. Tifton Green, Newberry 4-H Club. All these swine weigh between 275 and 280. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you got about 20 minutes to get your tickets. We're going to sell them till 9:30 tonight over there in front of the trailer. So you have 20 minutes to get them till 9:30. Go over there and see Buford. And then we'll start selling them again tomorrow. So if you miss out tonight, thank you.
Ninth place tonight is going to be the young man right here. A bear that got some size and growth to him. I think we start looking at it from a structural standpoint, we start to have issues. One that really gets fine boned, one that's getting weaker in his pasturing, doesn't have the flexibility we need to move around the ring. Combine that with the fact he's just doesn't have the expression muscle we need compared to some of our top 5 here to move higher up in class. But the 8th place is going to be the young man over here with his bear. One that really, when you look at him from a structural standpoint, it's his front shoulders that starts to give you issue. He's really setting back in that blade, which is making him look weaker behind those shoulders. You see him throw them feet out, doesn't give the reach that we need to see there, wanting to get a harder stride off those front end. When you look at him from behind, we need to, he wants to dip down in his back there. We need to level him up there, add some more bone work underneath to move him up higher in class. We've got some differences in kind right here. Coming next is going to be the young man right here with the white gilt. One that's very extreme in his overall makeup. Definitely terminal in their kind. Just too extreme for me. One that's just, I can't knock her for the amount of power she has, the amount of muscle shape, but just too raw in the overall makeup, not level enough in the overall design, doesn't have that fluidity that we need as she moves around the ring. We just need to change all those factors to make her move up. One that, when you talk about the completeness of the group we have left here, the young man's bear coming next, in my mind, just one of the most complete ones that we have of the 4 left out in the ring. Not the most extreme in any area, just moves around the ring the best. I think he has enough muscle shape down his top, enough muscle shape from behind, enough flexibility to his feet and legs, enough curvature to that rib that we find him in the 6th place. We're going to ask them now, give them a round of applause as they leave the ring, then we're going to place our top 5.
All right, for Class 10, 9th place, we have Waylon White from Hawthorne Middle School, FFA. 8th place, we have Dylan Brady, Santa Fe High School, FFA. 7th place, we have Michael Wonder, Newberry 4-H Club. And in 6th place, we have Donovan Ferguson, Hawthorne High School, FFA. Ladies and gentlemen, and tomorrow morning, remember at 9 a.m. we have Cattlemen's and Swine Sense contest. 10 a.m. we have the Goat Skillathon and the Poultry Showmanship. At noon we have the 4-H Horse Show in the outside horse arena. At 1 o'clock we have the Beef Showmanship. And then at 6 o'clock we have the Swine Showmanship again here in the ring.
We'll take our 5 back out of here. In 5th place going to be the young lady's wrong gilt that she has over in the corner. One that you like from a profile, especially from the side profile, but when you study them in relationship to the other 4 that we have in the class, just simply does not have enough product in her. We got to thicken her up. We got to blow her out, add more expression of muscle to be moving her up higher in the class. We study them and try to figure out what best follows suit. In my mind, the one that best follows suit for me, that coming into the 4th place hole, is the young man's gilt that we have right here in front of us. One that wants to start getting a little stiffer off of her feet and legs as you move out. Not that natural base width that we've seen in some others when we view her from behind, but still when you get over the top of her, you see some natural muscle shape there. One that's really long-sided, one that's leveler out of her hip. One that you appreciate about that, but I still would like to see a little more curvature of rib, a little more flexibility, a little more reach off them back legs. Follow that in the 3rd place is going to be the young man right here with his barrel. One that has plenty of power to me. I appreciate the amount of thickness he has. One that probably one of the heavier muscles in the class. I think it comes down to that style and balance. So just not as balanced as some of the other ones in here. Wants to get a little rounded in his overall makeup, especially off that hip. Wants to get a little coarser in that front end. Doesn't have that extension of neck we'd like to see to be moved up higher in class. Then I think it sorts its way out in 2 in my mind that find their way on up there. That's the young man right over here with his white barrel or masked barrel, and then the young lady in the corner. I think when you really analyze them, they're very similar in the way they're made, I think, as far as muscle expression, as far as the length of side, as far as the angles that you get, the eye appeal. But there's one I just think just finds me and hits me harder from every angle that I study it. Just can't really find that one piece to fault it and do anything with it. The young man right here is going to be 2nd. The young lady right here is going to win the class. Let's give him a round of applause.
Class 10, 1st place, Kylie Bartlett, Micanopy Friendship 4-H. 2nd place, Peyton Osteen, High Springs Community School FFA. 3rd place, Tifton Green, Newberry 4-H Club. 4th place, Graham Eubanks, Micanopy Friendship 4-H. 5th place, Lindsay Stevens, Hawthorne Middle School FFA. Let's have a round of applause for all of our Class 10 participants. Now entering the ring, Class 11. Kaylin Kinney, Santa Fe High School, FFA. Peyton Williams, Alachua Rope and Halter. Lexi Bono, Newberry 4-H Club. Peyton Powell, High Springs Community School, FFA. Ella Carr, Micanopy Friendship 4-H. Annabeth Green, Newberry 4-H Club. Cameron Murphy, Hawthorne Middle School, FFA. Hunter Thomas, Hawthorne Area 4-H Club. And Marley Price, Newberry 4-H Club. All these swine are from 281 to 283.
Yeah, I did. Hey, spray your hand off. Hey, spray your hand off. Hold it straight down. Hold it down. There you go. Just like that. There we go. You need some water? He's like, I'll go in here.
Ninth place is going to go to the young man right here with his belted barrel. One that I just think we just got to power up more if we're going to move it up in class. When we get in these heavier weights, we just simply got to have more product to him. We just need to rip him up apart, blow him apart there, add more product to him to move up higher in class. Eighth place is going to go to the young man with the spotted gilt over here. A gilt that's just more plain in her overall design, just not as up-headed as we'd like to see, just not the amount of power we'd like to see in them, not the bone work. We just need to make her more rugged all the way around to be moving her up higher in class. Seventh place is going to go to the young man here. One, he's strolling around trying to keep his tongue hanging out at all of us, but we're just having some problems here as he wants to move. He's just wanting to get tight on both ends. One that we need to change some more bone work in him. He's got some muscle shape. You see that natural curvature to his top. He's just too stiff today to be moved up any higher. Young lady's over here is going to be in sixth place. She's going to come next. One that we just need to add some more add a more correct angle to her front end. She's wanting to get a little straight off the front end. Another's wanting to get a little stiff. I just feel like we got a little more product in this pig than we did the one that we just taught. Let's give all these exhibitors a round of applause, and we'll bring you top five out and place them.
All right, in Class 11, sixth place, we have Lexi Bunnell, Newberry 4-H Club. Seventh place, Peyton Powell, High Springs Community School, FFA. Eighth place, we have Cameron Murphy, Hawthorne Middle School, FFA. And in ninth place, we have Peyton Williams, Alachua Rope and Halter.
We look at our top 5, and 5th place is going to be the young man right here in front of me. One that I thought we were searching for to find in the 5th place hole, and I think his best fit's that. One that's still having some issues walking off those front feet and legs, but still got enough product there for me to come on up into the top 5. But we just got to change some structural issues if we're going to move you up any further. Young lady right here in front of me is going to be 4th with her belted bear. One that when you talk about that framework and that structure, how it's put together, the design, I really like this bear. He's got all the pieces. When you look at him, he's that extension of neck, one of the longest neck bears that we've had out here in the ring all day. He moves around plenty freely to me. It's just one of them, we've got this large frame, we've got all those fundamentals that you start with. I just don't think that he just never did bloom out and pop out like we needed to. He just simply does not have the mass, that overall muscle, that product that we need to move him up any higher. Then I think we find come on up in the top 3 that's got some of those products that we're talking about that we want to see. But then we start looking at, do we have the pieces put together right as far as structure? Third's going to be the young lady right here in front of me. Gilt that's got plenty of muscle to her. One that I think in comparison to our 2 gets a little fine bone, where I could really like to change it on. I think the real difference to me is right there in that ham-loin junction. She pinches right there in that ham-loin junction, wants to break ever so slightly for me. We need to change that to move her up in the top 2. Then I think we have 2 that come out when they enter the ring, hit me pretty hard. I think they're built very similar in as far as the way they're designed. I think there's some issues as far as being able to get out and really show it off, and it makes it harder to view. I don't know if that's so much a structural thing as just a pig not wanting to cooperate. Young lady with the roan's going to be 2nd today. One that I really like from the squareness, the balance, the design have. I question how fluid it can get out and move because we didn't really see that. I just don't think, and it's said and done though, really got the power that we need to be moved up higher. Granted, I do think it's longer sided than our class winner. I do like that about him. I just don't know that he's got the overall power to do it. One that you talk about really complete, one that's got that muscle shape, one that's got that look, got extension out the front end, really up-headed the way to move around. If I could change this dude right here, I'd like to see him a little longer in relationship to how much power he has. It messes with his balance just a little bit. I'd like to see him extended out that side, but a really complete, a really good bear to win the class right here. Let's give all of them a round of applause.
So Class 11, first place is Kaylin Kinney, Santa Fe High School FFA. Second place is Marley Price, Newberry 4-H Club. Third place is Annabeth Green, Newberry 4-H Club. Fourth place is Ella Carr, Micanopy Friendship 4-H. And in fifth place, Hunter Thomas, Hawthorne Area 4-H Club. All the class winners need to be headed to the staging area. All the class winners need to be headed to the staging area. Second place, be on standby. Second place, actually go ahead and head back there in the staging area. Going into our last class of the night for the swine before we do final drive. Our last class We want to recognize our platinum sponsors once again. Texas Trailers donating the trailer over there to us. Watson C&D Construction, who's donated these roll-off dumpsters, and B&M Equipment. Thank you all for your contribution to the Alachua County Youth Fair and Livestock Show. All right, now entering the ring in Class 12, Chloe Moore from Hawthorne Middle School FFA, Tristan Duke, Newberry High School FFA, Kaylee Stevens, Hawthorne Middle School FFA, Landon Reno, High Springs Community School FFA, Ryan Dillard, Hawthorne Area 4-H Club, and Madison Fogarty, Hawthorne Middle School FFA. These swine weigh between 285 and 288. Once again, class winners and second place class go to the staging area. So Class 1 winner, Brooke Zeller. Class 2 winner, Ace Castles. Class 3 winner, Wyatt Hester. Class 4, Sarah McKnight. Class 5, Brooke Walding. Class 6, Zach Williams. Class 7, Caitlin Dillard. Class 8, Chase Holland. Class 9, Danielle Hodge. Class 10, Kylie Bartlett. And Class 11, Caitlin Kinney. You all need to be in the staging area.
We got 6 in our last class, and we're not going to do the pinning. We're just going to go ahead and talk each one of them. I think when we get in these heavyweight classes, you have to start worrying about keeping them fresh, keeping them where they need to be, and I think we do have some of those issues in here. I'm going to do them a little different where I've been walking down. This time I'm going to start with the first and work our way back. Young man over here in the corner with his white bear, he's going to win the class. To me, in my mind, I think he's the freshest in appearing. I think he's the natural, got the most muscle. I think he's the most complete when you put him together and put him in motion. I really find it pretty easy in my mind to take him on up there and win the class with. I think second, you have to find the one that best follows him. That's going to be the young lady's white gilt that's coming behind the black belted one there. She's going to be second today. Yes, sir. Sorry about that, young man. The young lady here is going to be second with the white gilt, one that I think just most closely follows the design of our class winner. Not as level in the top, wants to drop down a little bit. When she gets running on us, she wants to get a little loose in her structure there. Like to change that about her. I think we just need to make sure we slow her down as we walk her around the ring. But a really good gilt that I think follows the pattern of our class winner here to go in second. In my mind there, we're going to follow it with the young lady over here, black belted bear. He'll come next, one that I still see some muscle shape. But as we talked about, as we're getting up these heavier weights, we don't read with his natural muscle shape, with as much true muscle shape down the top as we see. One that still got some curvature of rib, one that I think still moves with enough flexibility to find its way into the third place hole. Then the young lady right here is going to follow that in fourth place. One that we get behind her, I think we start looking at one that just doesn't have as much muscle shape over the top, wants to drop down in that tail set, not as level, doesn't have the bone work that we need to have to move it up, but still some curvature of that rib, still got some center body mass to it, still got some product in it when we take it on down the road to market. Then I think we're getting the two that we just lighter muscle in their overall design. We'd like to stouten them up in the way in their bone work. We'd like to stouten them up in the overall muscle shape for me today and the way we place them. The young man on the far side over there with the white spot, he's going to be next. When I analyze these last two, I think I see more true product in this man's pig than I do the young man's belted one. He's going to be next. Young man right here is going to follow out with sixth in class. Let's give him a round of applause.
Class 12, first place is Tristan Duke, Newberry High School, FFA. Second place is Madison Fogarty, Hawthorne Middle School, FFA. Third place is Kaylee Stevens, Hawthorne Middle School, FFA. Fourth place is Chloe Moore, Hawthorne Middle School, FFA. Fifth place is Landon Reno, High Springs Community School, FFA. And sixth place is Ryan Dillard, Hawthorne Area Forest Club. What? Did I do something wrong? I thought you have.
I'm messed up.
Hold on 1 second. Little confusion up here.
What's your number, bud? 55.
And I'll see your sheet.
All right, correction, we had it down wrong up here. So, class winner is Landon Reno, High Springs Community School, FFA. Fifth place is Tristan Duke, Newberry High School, FFA. Apologize. All right, so all class winners need to be heading in. Second place need to be in the ready staging area. I missed them all, so I just looked over and copied whatever you had down. If we could, around the show ring, if you're next to the show ring, bend down because the people behind you can't see. So if you have people behind you, please bend down that are sitting in the stands so they can see. Thank you. All right, so final drive coming into the ring. We have Class 1 winner, Brooke Zeller from Hot Springs Community School. Class 2 winner, we have Ace Castles from Hopkins High School. Class 3 winner, we have Wyatt Hester from Newberry High School. Class 4 winner, we have Sarah McKnight from Santa Fe High School. Class 5 winner, we have Brooke Walding from Santa Fe High School. Class 6 winner, we have Zach Williams from Santa Fe High School. Class 7 winner, we have Caitlin Dillard from Hawthorne Area 4-H Club. Class 8 winner, we have Chase Holland from Hawthorne High School, FFA. Class 9 winner, we have Danielle Hodge from Newberry High School, FFA. Class 10 winner, we have Kylie Bartlett from Micanopy Friendship 4-H. Class 11 winner, we have Kaylin Kinney from Santa Fe High School, FFA. And Class 12 winner, we have Landon Reno, High Springs Community School, FFA. Yeah.
We bring our first place winners out of each class back out in the ring, and it's always interesting as a judge when you put them back in there, how they line up. A show this size, you hope that when they come back you see some uniformity in them. Maybe not cookie cutter shapes, but still you can get an idea what I was trying to do tonight. And I think as we bring these back out, I'm pleased with how they match up. I'm pleased with how each class winner. I think we got some product in each one. I think we got some functionality in each one. I think we've got some style and design to each one. Overall, what I'm trying to say is I've been looking for the most complete. They didn't have to be the biggest or the one number or just one particular trait that I was looking for. I was looking for, in my mind, the most complete all night. And I think I know I'm pleased. I hope you are when you see this lineup. I want to say this when and I won't get on my soapbox too long, but it's been a pleasure to be here. It's been a pleasure to be around these kids. Been a pleasure to see y'all's program tonight. I didn't know when I was driving down that I was going to come and get into, I hate to say church, but the testimony that I got to hear tonight, the community support that I got to see tonight. I always expect to see these kids come out here and do because these kids have a passion for what they do. But what goes unnoticed a lot of the time is the people behind the scenes that help put that together. So y'all give yourself a round of applause for putting this on tonight. We just finished up our state show in Georgia, our winter state shows a couple weekends ago. And, you know, it gets competitive in the back, and there's always somebody who wants to beat the other one and all. And I hope that when that happens, it's done in friendship. But I can tell you this. Sitting at that state show and seeing all the different species being shown in the big arena, I've heard as much cheering going on here tonight as I did at our state shows in Georgia just a few weeks ago, and that's to commend y'all. It is a pleasure to be out here and get to hear you cheering for each other's kids, you cheering each other on, because this is the future of our industry, this is the future of our nation right out here, and y'all are raising them up. The respect I've seen from everybody since I've been here for these kids in the ring is tremendous. You are to be commended. Please don't let y'all's program slip. It takes work, folks. It takes work fundraising. It takes dedication at home. Do not lose the importance, because this ain't about the pigs. This is about these kids that we're raising. Now, I'm going to get off my soapbox. We've taught these pigs in class. I'm not going to go through each one of them again. I'm pleased with the way the lineup is, but I can say this. And I always put it in, it's just like one other class. And when you walk a class in, there's always that one or two that just hit you harder than others. And that's what we've done here tonight. I've got some, I think you're splitting hairs on differences and all. The thing is, I got asked to come judge tonight, and my priorities might not line up with your priorities. Been there, done that. Judged all over, and I understand that. I just hope tonight that you understood what I was doing, and you can leave here and say, I don't agree with his priorities necessarily, but I understood what he done, and if that's his priorities, I accept that. Tremendous kids, tremendous pigs. I'm not going to sit here and run these pigs down. Like I say, I'm going to go out and I'm going to put the mic down. I'm going to look at them one more time. We're going to name you champion. We're going to bring in our second place from that class. We'll look at them again. We'll name you reserve. I guess we're just doing two, right? All right, we'll do that. Give these animals and these kids a round of applause one more time.
Your grand champion is number 127, Danielle Hodge from Newberry High School, FFA. Now entering the ring from Class 9, second place is Haley Molander from Hawthorne High School, FFA.
I'm going to say this, and I won't take long, but I think there's a lot of pigs in here that deserve recognition of honorable mention. Unfortunately, I was given the task of choosing 2. I do want to say there's some very good pigs, and if you didn't get chosen tonight, do not be discouraged. Y'all all winners tonight. Y'all got some very excellent pigs in this ring. I think each one of y'all deserved a shot to be in here. Y'all represented it well, but unfortunately I got to pick 2, and there's 2 individuals in here that hit me the hardest tonight, and we've already chosen one. Second one gonna go right here, this young man right here.
Zach. 94? Yeah. Your reserve grand champion is Zach Williams from Santa Fe High School, FFA. That concludes tonight's swine show. Let's have a big round of applause for Dennis Kendrick, our judge from Sycamore, Georgia. Friends and family, we'll see you here tomorrow morning.